Benjamin Netanyahu lives in a $5 million seaside fortress, rides in a $40 million armored motorcade, and holds secret meetings with Donald Trump behind gold-plated doors. While missiles rained over Israel, he dined with billionaires and rewrote history. There are truths behind the prince's glamour, and the last of these 8 truths will leave you speechless. Ceasefire or cover-up? The explosive 2025 moves of Benjamin Netanyahu that could change everything. June 2025. The skies over Israel are finally quiet, but beneath that silence, something far more volatile is simmering. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving prime minister, just pulled off what some call a diplomatic miracle and others call a smokescreen. According to Reuters, Netanyahu announced Israel's acceptance of a US-brokered ceasefire with Iran after what he declared were successfully achieved military objectives. The broker? President Donald J. Trump, making a dramatic return to international politics. In a stunning twist, The Guardian reported that Netanyahu revealed his son Avner's wedding had been postponed because of the conflict. His words, "a personal cost I'm willing to pay," landed with a thud among Israeli citizens already furious over years of political unrest. This wasn't empathy. To many, it felt like manipulation. A nation at war. And the Prime Minister makes it about his son. But that's not even half of it. Behind closed doors, another scandal was erupting, one that could become Netanyahu's most dangerous yet. The Associated Press and Haaretz confirmed that 2 of his closest political aides were under investigation in the unfolding Qatargate affair. Allegedly, these aides received undisclosed funds from Qatari intermediaries in exchange for political influence and media shaping. Netanyahu, as always, denied involvement. But the Times of Israel reported that Israeli intelligence services, including the Shin Bet, were deeply concerned, especially when Netanyahu moved to fire Shin Bet director Ronen Bar just as the investigation intensified. The New York Post reported that over 40,000 Israelis took to the streets in protest, branding Netanyahu a power addict, accusing him of sacrificing democracy to save himself. The Supreme Court intervened, temporarily halting Bar's dismissal, fueling speculation that Netanyahu may be attempting to consolidate control of Israel's intelligence and judicial branches. This is more than politics, it's chess at the highest level. We've seen power abused. We've seen leaders stage patriotic moments while burying scandals. Netanyahu, a man who's played world politics like a grandmaster for decades, may be facing his most dangerous game yet. Because while he's calling for unity on the front lines with Iran, the real war may be happening at home against investigators, judges, protesters, and even his own intelligence agency. And what about the money? According to Reuters, Netanyahu's wartime operations cost Israel billions. Yet even as rockets fell, he hosted closed-door briefings with foreign financiers and US political players, raising new questions about back-channel deals and foreign leverage in Israeli security policy. What does all this mean? It means the Benjamin Netanyahu of 2025 isn't just leading a country. He's battling for his legacy, his reputation, and potentially his freedom. What do you think makes Benjamin Netanyahu successful? Comment now. From commando to power broker, the untold life story of Benjamin Netanyahu, before the motorcades, before the million-dollar alliances, before the scandal-stained speeches and historic accords, there was just Benjamin Netanyahu, a boy born in Tel Aviv in 1949, with a name that would one day rattle the foundations of global politics. Netanyahu's roots run deep into Israel's intellectual elite. His father, Benjamin Netanyahu, was a historian of international acclaim, a man of fierce ideology and unrelenting expectations. As Reuters noted in its 2023 profile, Benjamin was born into ideology, shaped not just to lead, but to outlast. His mother, Tila, a homemaker, offered quiet strength behind the scenes, but in the Netanyahu household, destiny was dinner table conversation. His journey to power began on the battlefield. At just 18 years old, he joined Sayeret Matkal, Israel's most elite special operations unit so secretive, Israelis only whisper its name. There, Netanyahu led covert missions behind enemy lines. It wasn't just service. It was sculpting. A soldier turned strategist. A fighter turned figurehead. Reuters confirmed he was wounded in action, proof that his political iron came forged in real fire. Then came the heartbreak. The death of his older brother Yonatan Netanyahu, the only Israeli commando killed during the legendary 1976 Entebbe hostage rescue mission. That tragedy didn't just scar the family, it defined Benjamin. According to The Guardian, it galvanized him into global visibility. He became a spokesperson, a symbol of resilience, and soon, a rising political star. But Benjamin Netanyahu didn't just aim to speak, he aimed to rule. Armed with degrees from MIT and Harvard, two of America's most prestigious institutions, he returned to Israel not as a soldier, but as a global statesman in waiting. By 1996, he made history as the youngest prime minister in Israel's history, at age 46, Reuters 2023. And that was just the beginning. What followed was a political reign unlike any other. Scandal, survival, reinvention. He lost elections, regained power, rewrote coalitions. He became not just Israel's leader, but its lightning rod, championed by conservatives, condemned by liberals, but never ignored. By 2025, he had served more than 17 years as prime minister, longer than any other in Israeli history. As Reuters put it bluntly, he has reshaped Israeli politics in his image. And through it all, he's played the long game. From soldier to scholar, from heartbreak to headlines, from a Tel Aviv child to a multi-million-dollar power broker with influence that spans continents and decades. This isn't just a biography. It's a case study in enduring ambition, because Benjamin Netanyahu didn't just chase history. He made it. Inside Benjamin Netanyahu's private world, marriages, power games. Behind the podium, he's all sharp lines and fierce eyes. But behind the closed doors of power lies a story very few dare to tell: the private life of Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving prime minister. It's not just political, it's deeply personal. And it's laced with secrets, scandal, and unimaginable influence. Born in Tel Aviv in 1949, Netanyahu's early life was molded by ambition. His father, Benjamin Netanyahu, was a prominent historian and a staunch Zionist thinker, whose expectations were as towering as his legacy. Benjamin joined the elite Sayeret Matkal commando unit at just 18. He wasn't just being shaped into a soldier, he was being sculpted into a symbol. Netanyahu has been married 3 times, each chapter marked by love, betrayal, and political fallout. His first wife, Miriam Weizmann, bore him a daughter, Noah. But the marriage fell apart after reports of an affair while he was posted to Washington D.C.An episode he later admitted during a live TV broadcast in 1997. A rare moment of vulnerability for a man known for his steely control. The Guardian, 1993. His second marriage to Fleur Cates, a British-born businesswoman, ended quietly but not without whispers of ideological rifts and distance. Then came Sarah Ben-Artzi, his current wife and arguably his most controversial partner. A former flight attendant turned psychologist, Sarah Netanyahu has been both lionized and demonized by Israeli media. She's been at the center of multiple scandals, from reports of mistreatment of staff to a criminal conviction over misuse of public funds. The Guardian, 2019. She allegedly ordered lavish meals and charged them to the stat nearly $100,000, while an in-house chef stood idle. Netanyahu stood by her side, unwavering. Their home life is a blend of opulence and isolation. They reside in Caesarea, one of Israel's wealthiest coastal enclaves, where villas reach $5 million in value. The family fortress is shielded by security and secrecy, a bubble where diplomacy meets dynasty. Their eldest son, Yair Netanyahu, is no stranger to controversy either. According to Haaretz, 2017, he was caught using a government-provided car and driver to visit strip clubs, scandal that exploded across Israeli media and stained the family name. His social media tirades often read like declarations from a political prince in waiting, fearless and inflammatory. In contrast, their younger son, Avner, seemed destined for a quieter path until Netanyahu's decision to postpone his wedding due to the 2025 Iran conflict thrust him into headlines. The Guardian, 2025. It was a move that painted Netanyahu as a father sacrificing family for state or a politician orchestrating optics. Because in the world of Benjamin Netanyahu, there's no clear line between the man, the myth, and the mission. His private life is not a distraction. It's the undercurrent, the strategic fortress from which he's launched decades of political domination. And for a generation of Americans who've seen power behind every curtain, this story is more than biography. It's a masterclass in the personal politics of a global titan. What does $13 million buy a man who's ruled a nation for over 17 years? For Benjamin Netanyahu, it buys a life cloaked in quiet opulence, shielded from scrutiny, and soaked in controversy. Officially, the Israeli Prime Minister earns around $170,000 to $200,000 per year, according to Israeli government disclosures reported by Reuters. Not exactly poor, yet nowhere near the luxury that trails his name like perfume. Because beyond the speeches, the state dinners, and the global summits lies a fortune far less public and far more provocative. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Netanyahu's estimated net worth sits at $13 million. But how did a career civil servant with a government paycheck accumulate such wealth? The answer, like the man himself, is layered, elusive, and wrapped in power. Let's start with the known. He's penned best-selling books. His 1995 release, A Place Among the Nations, continues to generate royalties. His speaking engagements across the US, some rumored to command $50,000 per appearance, have quietly padded his portfolio. And then there are his undisclosed investments, reportedly including stakes in blue-chip firms like Disney and Electronic Arts, as revealed by Reuters in a 2024 financial leak. But it's what's unspoken that truly fascinates. In 2020, Haaretz reported that Netanyahu and his wife Sarah had allegedly used public funds for luxury meals, private chefs, and premium wines, some of which were consumed at the official residence while political donors looked on. Though Netanyahu denied any wrongdoing, the accusations ignited a firestorm of public outrage and legal inquiry. Then came The Guardian's 2019 expose. Sarah Netanyahu was convicted for misusing state funds to purchase nearly $100,000 worth of catered meals, despite having a full-time government chef at her disposal. The optics were damning, and yet the empire endured. So where does the $13 million truly lie? It lies in the home. Netanyahu owns multiple properties, including his private residence in Caesarea, Israel's elite coastal town where villas touch $5 million. It lies in the travel he's flown in luxury, met with billionaires, dined with kings. And it lies in the network his connections to ultra-wealthy benefactors from the US to Europe have remained a well-guarded asset, more powerful than any stock portfolio. Because in a world where billionaires build rockets and presidents host reality shows, Netanyahu represents something older, more calculated. A chess master in a tailored suit. A man who's played the long game, quietly amassing millions while the world watches his politics, not his bank account. Inside Netanyahu's $5 million fortress, the Caesarea villa you didn't see. Picture a mansion perched on the Israeli Mediterranean coast. White stone walls gleam under the sun. Palm trees sway. Security stands vigilant. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's private sanctuary in Caesarea Villa, whispered to be worth $5 million, and it's more than just a home. It's a fortress of power. While the world watched him negotiate peace and wage war, Netanyahu retreated here away from cameras, beneath reinforced ceilings, in a mansion that screams prestige. Located in one of Israel's wealthiest enclaves, Caesarea's luxury villas rival Malibu in grandeur. Ynet News, 2019. Yet this villa stands apart not just for its architecture, but for the secrets hidden behind its walls. In late 2024, a Hezbollah-launched drone slammed into the property, targeting the Prime Minister's bedroom. Security footage revealed shattered glass, chilling reminder that even paradise can be pierced by danger. But the drama didn't end there. Reuters reported that in November 2024, flash bombs were thrown into the villa's garden, wounding no one but shattering the illusion of untouchability. Windows reinforced, walls thickened, guards armed. Here's the question: why should Israel cover the tab for a political strongman's private playground? It's a debate echoing Washington drama, public purse for private bunker. But critics argue it was about lifestyle, not safety. Flip back further and you'll find Netanyahu owns 3 homes: the Caesarea Jewel, a Jerusalem penthouse valued at nearly $10 million, and another inherited Jerusalem house, Ynet News, 2019. In coalition deals, he even demanded the state guarantee housing even when out of office. The state dutifully caters his whims. Millions spent yearly. Ynet News estimated over nearly $300,000 annually on the Caesar residence alone between 2010 to 2015. Netnews.com. $1 million motorcade exposed. Benjamin Netanyahu's ride of power. Imagine cruising in a fleet so protected, so exclusive, it screams power louder than any speech. That's the world where Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's long-standing prime minister, moves. His rides aren't more cars, they're statements of status, security, and swagger. When Bibi travels, even within his own country, he commands a fortress on wheels. He never rolls alone, always flanked by a convoy of armored vehicles, each worth over $1 million. According to Reuters, his motorcades can include 20 or more heavily armored cars equipped with bulletproof glass, run-flat tires, and full military-grade shielding. Each vehicle isn't off the lot, they're hand-built by elite defense manufacturers. A single armored sedan of this class sells for well over $1 million. Add high-tech countermeasures like electronic jammers, run-flat tires, and bulletproofing, and you're easily north of $2 million per car. Multiply by a fleet of 20? That's a staggering $40 million to $50 million on wheel sand that doesn't include private jets, yachts, luxury helicopters that Bibi likely has at his disposal. Trump Netanyahu, the $1 billion bond that's rewriting Middle East history in 2025. They're not just allies. They're not just politicians. Donald J. Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are two of the most powerful men to ever walk the geopolitical stage, and their relationship. It's a $1 billion alliance that's shaping the fate of the Middle East and redefining American foreign policy in 2025. It began long before Trump's first term. But when Trump moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem in 2018, he didn't just honor Netanyahu's dream, he gave him political immortality. Reuters described it as a historic moment that cemented their personal and political bond. Reuters, June 2025. But what's happening now is even more explosive. In June 2025, as rockets thundered across the skies of Israel and Iran, it wasn't Joe Biden or the UN who brokered the ceasefire. It was Trump, returning to the global stage not as president, but as a private power broker. The Economic Times confirmed that Trump facilitated a deal Netanyahu called the necessary resolution to ensure Israel's safety. But was it diplomacy or something deeper? Critics are calling it the Trump-Netanyahu doctrine, strategic handshake between two men who trust only each other. Former Trump strategist Steve Bannon accused Netanyahu of hijacking his foreign policy, claiming Trump had gone soft under Israeli pressure. Economic Times 2025. And here's where it gets wild. Netanyahu and Trump reportedly met privately at Mar-a-Lago in early May before the ceasefire deal. Reuters and The Guardian reported that the two held extended closed-door talks, with Trump pledging to shield Israel from UN backlash, and Netanyahu offering strategic intel to align regional narratives. This wasn't just diplomacy, it was legacy building, wrapped in wealth and whispered secrets. According to insiders quoted in the New York Times, Netanyahu views Trump as his greatest foreign asset. Meanwhile, Trump has referred to Bibi as the only real leader left in the region. Their alliance, forged in iron and polished in luxury, has become a machine for mutual validation and mutual survival. And the financial ripple? It's massive. US military aid to Israel remains in the billions of dollars annually, much of it greenlit during Trump's term. Critics argue that the new Trump-Netanyahu dynamic could usher in a return of hawkish spending and backroom deals, especially if Trump regains office in 2025. But it's the optics that fuel the fire. Photos of Netanyahu and Trump laughing over fine dining, talking behind gold-encrusted doors at Mar-a-Lago, don't just irritate world leaders, they infuriate them. Because behind every smiling photo op is a shadow deal shaping borders, oil routes, and lives. To Americans over 40 who remember Nixon and Kissinger, this feels familiar. Power, loyalty, and geopolitical chess played by men who answer only to each other. And if you think the Trump-Netanyahu bond is about diplomacy, think again. It's about control. It's about history. And it may just be the most expensive friendship the modern world has ever seen. Here are 5 shocking truths about Benjamin Netanyahu. Number 5 is the private jet mystery. While Israel has no official Air Force One, the Jerusalem Post confirmed that Netanyahu pushed for the $230 million upgrade of Israel's wing of Zion Boeing 767. The reason? Security, he said. But critics noted that Netanyahu demanded lavish VIP interiors, including a $2 million communications suite and gold-trimmed seating. In a country battling economic protests, this airborne palace raised more than just eyebrows, it triggered a national audit. Number 4 is the real reason behind his extended rule. Netanyahu didn't just survive Israeli politics, he reshaped the game. According to The Guardian 2024, He orchestrated changes to judicial oversight laws that weakened Israel's Supreme Court powers. The move sparked months of nationwide protests. Critics accused him of engineering legal shields to protect himself from ongoing corruption trials. As one protester shouted live on Channel 12 News, "He's not leading a country, he's running a fortress." Number 3 is the U.S. Republican Party's quiet investment. During his 2020 legal troubles, the New York Times reported that Netanyahu received behind-the-scenes support from multiple U.S. Republican donors, some tied to major pro-Israel PACs. One anonymous source confirmed indirect financial support via lobbying arms. The deal? Keep Israel hardline and support us interests in exchange for campaign survival. This shadow funding blurred the line between ally and asset. Number 2 is his secretive shadow cabinet. Unlike most modern leaders, Netanyahu reportedly ran a hidden advisory group outside formal government structures. According to Haaretz, 2023, this unofficial circle included Mossad veterans, former arms dealers, and American consultants. They reportedly met in private residences, including his Caesarea villa, to plan diplomatic responses, energy policy, and even social media strategy. One insider claimed, Israel wasn't run from the Knesset. It was run from his living room. Number 1 is a hidden vault of ancient Jewish artifacts. In 2024, Ynet News revealed Netanyahu's deep fascination with ancient Jewish history and a collection of rare religious artifacts reportedly kept in a private wing of his Caesarea home. Some of these items, estimated to be worth over $1 million, include centuries-old Torah scrolls and coins from the Second Temple era. Critics questioned whether state funds helped acquire them. Netanyahu's office denied all claims, but the mystery of the vault and what it contains remains. What do you find most impressive about Benjamin Netanyahu? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Like this video, subscribe so you never miss a new story about the world's most fascinating people. Thanks for watching.